I have actually another story. I mentioned that, oh, where are we here? Move this down. There we go. Okay. I mentioned that we had a story from 1976. This Guanyin response story comes from Los Angeles and two monks who did a bowing pilgrimage. I was one of those monks. I know there are friends translating for me now, so I thought I would put this up. This is actually from Highway Dharma Letters. It's one of the first couple entries, because myself and Hengchao were in Lincoln Heights, which is just a little bit north of Watts. We just left South Pasadena. We're not quite to Chinatown. And this is a letter that I wrote to Master Hua. We came out onto Wilshire Boulevard, and we end near the end of Lincoln Heights, 10:15 in the morning. The business traffic was at its peak, people still trying to get to work. And there was, the traffic was buzzing by on the left side, right? 4 lanes, the city streets. And I had my glasses off so that I wouldn't be distracted by the things left and right. And I'm bowing every 3 steps along the sidewalk. It's busy, busy downtown streets. And I couldn't see clearly what was the faces or the situations on the roads. I just kept bowing. And Hengchao was behind me, and he told me what he saw. He said, at the intersection up ahead that we were bowing towards, there was 5 older men at a taco stand on the corner. One of them he described as a demon. He was ugly. He had a body shaped like a pear, kind of fat, round in the middle and pointed at the top, sort of. And the reason why, I mean, a lot of us look like that, right? That's not uncommon. But this guy came to our attention because he was excited about us. He was jumping around and pointing, and he had reached over to an oil drum and taken the metal band that tightens the lid on the oil drum and turned it into a whip. He straightened it out, and he was slapping it on the sidewalk, and it was jagged metal that he was whipping around like a bullwhip. And he slid the trash can in front of us so that we couldn't bow on the sidewalk. And he started to pound the trash can with his whip, making a noise and denting the sides of the can. And it was pretty scary, according to Hengchao. I heard there was a noise. I didn't see what was going on. And he was trying to provoke the other 4 into a similar rage, just getting ready to lay into the 2 bowing monks. And Hengchao was impressed that this was a genuine big league demon. And there was no way to go up and talk to him and say, oh, by the way, we're on a peace pilgrimage. So bowing along, I could feel the tension, but then I didn't. There was some sense of something in the air that was good and powerful, stronger than the nasty, and calming. It was invisible, but real. It felt like a sense of light on the whole intersection, touching everyone. Us, these men who were threatening us, the traffic, the school kids, the passersby. Hengchao says, we bowed into the middle of this group at the taco stand. The light was red. We had to wait at the intersection. And he says, the leader went out like a light being turned off. He lost his anger and he became quiet, kind of like a child. The metal whip just dropped to the ground. People at the taco stand sat motionless at their tables. I bowed around the garbage can under their feet. And then the light turned green and walked across the street to count the bows and bow on the other side. And this young man, very clean, very respectful, stepped out of his door and said, "Oh, could you tell me about your religion? I'm very impressed by what you're doing." And Heng Chao spoke with him briefly, told him what we're doing. And I can't tell you what was leading us through the streets of LA, but it certainly felt like I was getting a response to what I had in my mind, which was Namo Guan Shi Yin Bodhisattva. Namo Guan Shi Yin Bodhisattva. The sutra says, if there's a living being who has a thought of hostility towards the Bodhisattva also views him with kind eyes. To the very end, he has not the slightest anger. That's the 10 transferences chapter. Now, is that me? No, I'm not a bodhisattva. And if I could have seen what was waiting for me at the crosswalk, at the taco stand, I might have been not only angry, but terrified, right? Both a blend of anger and fear. But I had my glasses off. And so I could feel, however, I could feel the tension and hear the noise. And so in my mind, I had Guanyin Bodhisattva's name, and that was enough, I guess, to keep me from false thinking, keep me from fear. Anyway, just to say, the Bodhisattva who bestows courage and fearlessness works right there. So any situation that we have that is terrifying, frightening, if we can remember to I Xin Cheng Ming, recite the name of Guanyin Bodhisattva, somehow bit by bit, that fear just vanishes, goes away, and it's replaced by goodness, not only for us, but for everybody. Then the light turns green and we cross over and somebody says, "Hey, tell me about how you're doing."
那个我们听上说，这是愿为就是高家堂，念及观音力，对你对以后，这个愿培呀，是这个鬼的名字，是经济鬼。成佛之后，他呀归佛了之后啊，他就改过自新了。改过自新呢，这个除魔了。以前叫愿贼嘛，以后改叫除魔，也就是那个药茶匠，欢喜的药茶匠，不像以前那么恶了，就是特别可以，也不。